The missile launch followed a familiar pattern. It came early morning, 2 minutes before 7 local time, with Japan in its path. Launched from the capital, Pyongyang, the missile flew 3,700 kilometres over the northern Japanese island of Hokkaido, reaching a height of 770 kilometres before crashing to the Pacific Ocean. Just minutes after, sirens sounded in Hokkaido as a public alert was issued. Residents had mixed feelings.
It just doesn't feel real. I really don't know what it'll do.
It gives me the shivers. I feel like telling them to stop it now.
The response from neighbours was swift. South Korea's National Security Council held an emergency meeting. The country's new president ordered counterfire with a missile test of its own. The drill was pre-planned in preparation for another North Korean test.
North Korea again fired a ballistic missile, obviously disregarding the international community's criticisms and warnings and the UN Security Council resolutions. Such continuous provocations by North Korea are serious threats to the peace and stability of the Korean Peninsula and the international community that our government sternly denounces and expresses anger over the missile launch.
Moon also instructed the nation to analyse and ramp up preparations for new forms of threats from electromagnetic pulse and chemical attacks. Arriving in Tokyo from an economic summit in India, Japan's Prime Minister immediately called for an emergency meeting of the UN Security Council.
North Korea has trampled on the international society's strong desire for a peaceful solution. Its reckless act is absolutely unacceptable. We will request the Security Council to hold an emergency meeting.
He's urging the international community to act as one against North Korea and wants the UN Security Council to implement the latest sanctions against the country. The US Secretary of State is calling on all nations to take new measures against North Korea. Specifically, he said, China and Russia must indicate their intolerance for these reckless launches by taking direct actions of their own. This is the second ballistic missile to cross Japan in less than a month. It comes within 24 hours of North Korea threatening to sink Japan with nuclear weapons, a threat Japan takes seriously now that it believes North Korea has the ability to miniaturise its nuclear weapons and place them on top of ballistic missiles like the one which crossed the country today. Craig Leeson, Al Jazeera, Tokyo.